Some broiler poultry farmers raise 200 birds, 500 birds, or even 1,000 birds, and are still broke. I mean, they get these broilers in their large number as day old chicks, raise them, take them to the market, sell everything, and yet they don't make any profit. Meanwhile, another broiler poultry farmer is raising lesser number of birds, say 100 or even 50, and they are making steady profit. And what do you think is going on here? Well, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you why some broiler poultry farmers never make profit. And if you are a broiler poultry farmer, I'm also going to be suggesting for you what to change so that you start seeing profit after making sales. And the video is starting right now. First of all, you have no business being broke as a broiler poultry farmer. You know why? Because it is very profitable and people are making good money from it every day. Let's assume that you go to the market and you get one day old chick, okay? You raise it for the duration you want to raise it, preferably 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and it becomes matured and heavy. If you take that one, okay, let's try matured here. If you take this to the market, you are going to be making profit. Assuming you spend 7,000 naira raising that bed, you are not going to be selling it anything less than 7,000 naira anyway. You understand? So maybe you say you sold 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 9,500, 10,000, depending on who the customer is. You are going to be making profit. Even if you sold it this 7,500 and you use 7,000 to raise it, that means you are making 500 naira profit. So now imagine this 500 naira profit multiplied by more number of birds, not just one. You get the point? So I want you to know that people are making good money from broiler poultry farming. So have it at the back of your mind that it is still profitable. Now, why are people still broke doing this business? I want to give you some reasons. Number one, the first reason is that they don't track their expenses. They don't track their cost of production. So let's say no tracking of expenses. If you don't track your expenses, that's the first mistake you make now. Okay, you buy feed today, you buy drugs tomorrow, you pay your farm workers, but you are not writing anything down. How are you going to keep track of everything? So when you finish raising the birds and it gets to selling point, you sell and you see money, but for the fact that you didn't track your expenses, you don't know exactly how much it costs you to raise the birds, which means you might be selling at a loss and you will not know. All you know is that you got back bulk money, and you forget that you've been making expenses on a daily basis raising the birds. So when this happens, you see that at the end of the day, you might see that you made serious losses, because let's use this 7,000 naira as a base for cost of raising one broiler. You might be, since you didn't track your expenses, you might be thinking that it costs you like 5,000 naira or 6,000 naira to raise your broiler, and then when you sell it this 7,000, or maybe say you sell it 6,800, you see that you've been making losses. Assuming you tracked your record, it would have helped you to prevent you doing this, which invariably means you will go broke as a broiler poultry farmer if you don't keep tracking your expenses. Okay, the second reason why broiler poultry farmers are broke is around feed. Okay, let's call it mismanagement, MGT. You get the point? Now I want you to know that feed is the biggest cost that you are going to incur raising broilers. At times the cost of raising broilers, the feed aspect of it might take up to from minimum of 60%. It might even go up to say 75% of the cost of production. So if you mismanage your feed, you are going to be losing. For instance, there are different ways to mismanage feed. Number one, if you underfeed, okay, let me put under. If you underfeed your birds, if you overfeed your birds, or if you use poor quality feed, many people underfeed their birds and they don't know, because they don't know how many bags the chicken are supposed to consume throughout their lifetime. Okay, so they end up underfeeding. What it means is that your bird will not meet up the size at maturity when it gets to that time it's supposed to be matured. When you overfeed your birds will get, maybe say it's too big, but you are not going to be saving cost. You are going to be going max. You are going to be maxing your money doing that. Business is strategy. You have in some things they say grade A, grade B, grade C. You have where you can fit in yourself and you stay equilibrium, so that at the end you still see where you can sell and make profit. So don't overfeed. At times, even overfeeding, the chicken will start wasting the feed. Okay. Then poor quality. Many farmers want to kind of save money. Yeah, they are buying the number of bags of feed that the birds should eat, but they know that they are buying a poor quality feed, which means the birds are not still going to meet up. Maybe some people get birds, raise them, and they start giving corn chaff, which that is crazy. It's poor quality. So at the end, when you bring your birds to sell in the market, people will be pricing you as if you stole it. And at the end, you just manage to sell anything you can sell just to get rid of the birds, and you lose. That's one of the reasons why some people, even after raising their birds, they go broke. The third reason why many people go broke after raising their birds and selling is high mortality. Okay, high mortality. If your birds die too much, you lose money. Some farmers lose birds and treat it like it's normal. It is not normal, though. It is not normal. Every dead bird is money gone. Let's say, for instance, you are raising 500. Okay, you lose one. That one that you lost raising, yes, you did very great raising the birds, right? You did very great. That means you've lost the money for that one. That 7,000 naira that it cost you to raise have gone, which means no profit is going to come. You are losing. So I'm not saying that mortality is not normal. It's normal, but that's why I said high mortality. If you are losing more than 5% of the production, after selling, you may not see profit. That's why you have to be very careful in raising your birds to avoid high mortality. Why I say this 5% is out of 50 and 500. 5% of this is about 25. Okay, that's 5%. So after raising 500 birds, you lose 25. If you sell, you still see profit. 25 is just 5% of it. It's not high mortality. But when you start incurring mortalities up to 6%, 10%, wahala don't come. You get the point. So high mortality is one of the reasons why many farmers are still broke doing this broiler business. Another reason is bad market timing. Okay, bad market timing. I recently did a video where I shared the best time to raise broilers. Okay, in that video, I'll be putting the link to that video in the description of this video. Okay, you don't just wake up one day and say you want to raise broilers and you start raising. Strategically, there are times that the market is very bad. Example, selling broilers in January and February is a bad business plan, because people have exhausted their money during the Xmas celebration, and in January they are now trying to be careful with their expenses. Many people stop eating chicken that period because they want to recover. Another period is between July and August. Why? This period is the time that many boarding schools are on long vacation, and from experience, boarding schools consume a lot of chicken. So when this thing happens, the market will crash. So for you to avoid this bad time, and all you have to do is to ask yourself, when do you want to sell this? When do you want to sell broilers? Okay, for instance, if you want to sell broiler for Christmas, you know that Christmas is the benchmark. That means for you to start raising the birds, you ask yourself, do I raise for 6 weeks or 8 weeks? If it's 8 weeks, then from that Christmas market sales, you count back 8 weeks to know exactly when you should stock. Maybe if you count back, it will be somewhere around first week of November, ending of October, ending of October or first week of November. Okay, that's how we do the thing, because bad market timing is if you bring your matured birds to the market to sell when the demand is low. Nobody will want to buy, and due to you be pressed to sell out, you end up selling at a loss. And that reason why people are not making money raising broilers is they don't have plan. They don't plan properly. Okay, there are a lot of things that you need to plan as a broiler poultry farmer. Number one, you need to plan for the feed. How many bags are they going to be consuming? It's all in the plan. Number two, you have to plan for the marketing. That marketing that also has to do with when you want to sell and who you are going to sell to. You get the point? So if you don't plan, okay, you also have to plan for risk. There are some risk management. Okay, should they get sick, what will you do? It's part of the plan. That's why we have medication schedules. It's a plan to avoid the sickness. But if there is sickness, what will you do? You get the point? So these are the main reasons why many people who are into the broiler poultry farming business are broke, why they are not making money, why they are getting discouraged and leaving. Many of them don't track their expenses. Many of them mismanage feed, high mortality, bad market timing, and poor planning. So what do many smart farmers do differently? What do they do differently? They just do opposite of all these reasons here. For instance, no tracking of expenses. Smart broiler poultry farmers keep record. Okay, just the opposite. Feed management, you make sure that you don't underfeed your chicks, your birds. You make sure you don't overfeed them, and you make sure you use good quality feed. Now, the third thing that smart poultry farmers do is around this mortality. You have to be very diligent with raising your birds very well to be able to reduce the mortality. You understand? As low as possible. Maybe anything lower than 5% is okay. You still see profit. And another reason is bad market timing. Most smart broiler poultry farmers don't sell birds, don't raise birds that they know that it will be ready to be sold around January and February, or July and August. You get the point? If you want to stop guessing and start making consistent profit from your broiler poultry farming, I have a broiler video course on Udemy, okay, where I broke down everything. It starts from the planning. We'll talk about the budgeting, the day-to-day rearing activity, and the sales. That's what discovered in the course. Okay, now if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section concerning this video. If you like what you just saw right now, make sure, or you learn something new, give this video a thumbs up to like it, so that YouTube will suggest it more to more farmers. And also feel free to share to fellow farmers. You understand? Then if you are seeing our content for the very first time, make sure you subscribe, because we push out nice content around poultry farming that you must certainly benefit from. That's it for this video, guys. See you next time.